I'll now look at the idea of intercepts. And there are two kinds of intercepts, X intercepts and Y-intercepts. We'll start with the idea of X intercepts. These happen when the graph crosses the x-axis. Since we're crossing the x-axis, we haven't moved up or down any, so the y-coordinate must be 0. Since we know the y-coordinate is 0, we can say that these are of the form a, 0. So when we're given a general equation, we'll find these by letting y be equal to 0. So we just let y be equal to 0, and then we find the value for x. And y-intercepts are going to be very, very similar to this. This time we're looking for where the graph crosses the y-axis. That means this time my x-coordinate is 0. As a result of that, my points are going to be of the form 0, b. So for this one, we let x be equal to 0 and we find the value for y. Let's look at some examples. We'll start with y equal to 3x minus 2. And I want to find both the x and the y-intercepts. Let's start with x. To find the x-intercept, we need to let y be equal to 0. So that tells me 0 is equal to 3x minus 2. I now need to solve this equation. We start by adding 2 to both sides. When I do that, the 2's on the right cancel, and I'm left with 2 equal to 3x. I can then divide both sides by 3, and that gives me 2/3 equal to x. Now that I've solved for x, I have the value of my x-intercept. It is the point 2/3, 0. Now let's find the y-intercept. For the y-intercept, I need to let x be equal to 0. We know that 3 times 0 is 0, and 0 minus 2 is negative 2. As a result, we have the y-intercept, 0, negative 2. X has to be 0, y is negative 2. So this is an example of showing or finding the intercepts given an equation, but we can also find the intercepts given a graph. We now want to look at our intercepts for this particular graph. We know the x-intercepts are where we cross the x-axis. We can see that happens at negative 2, 1, and 4. So our x-intercepts, negative 2, 0, 1, 0, and 4, 0. For the y-intercept, we're looking at this y-axis, the vertical axis. We can see that happens at the point 0, 2. So that would be our y-intercept.